Hi, it's Kirby Sommers. I'm giving this another shot. So many of you were really kind in your comments when I posted my first video chat of Sunday. I was completely blown away. You guys are very kind, and I know I tell you a lot that I appreciate you, but it's true. I completely appreciate you in so many ways. So there seems to have been a question with a few of you, and I've heard this several times during the past year and a half when I've been working on the Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell case, and also talking about my own situation as it pertained to being a sex slave. People tend to think of that and think, oh, well, why couldn't you escape? Why didn't you escape? Who was out? Who else was captive? And okay, so here is what I said on Twitter a couple of days ago, and what I would like to explain to you. You're not in a dungeon, and you're not in a room locked up. In the case of wealthy and powerful men, which is, I believe, what we're exploring as we find out more about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and that circle, and as it pertains to my situation with Ira Rickless, you are preyed upon. My background is I was born to a single mother with other children, economically disadvantaged, and that profile fits with many of the other survivors across the board, whatever country we're talking about. I was further sort of marginalized because I had been sexually trafficked. And it was at that moment when I met Ira that he became aware of me. Now, he did not know my full name. He didn't know a lot of things about me, and that's how you sort of protect yourself when you're in that situation. However, the few times that I saw him like that, he did ask me a lot of questions, and I'm sure I slipped and I told him my birthday. You try to have a conversation, and you try not to sound too paranoid, and most of these people, just, you never hear from them again. So in this case, and when he started to chase me, and when he hired a police captain for the precinct where he told me that he gave a lot of money to, and at the time I didn't really understand how how a police captain, or how the police, or how people who are supposed to be working for the public end up doing these favors for predatory men. But he, I was at this point trying to reestablish my life, trying to get my life back. I had taken a part-time job. I had gone back to school, and I had a boyfriend. So I thought I was, on my way to living what I always wanted, which is a normal life. Having a normal life for me has evaded me since the time I was a kid. I just have never had what I consider to be a normal life. So, I was studying for midterms. This is in my book, by the way. This is in Billionaire's Woman. I was studying for midterms. It was October. I remember I was sitting on my sofa. I had all my books sort of laid out around me, and somebody rang my doorbell. I wasn't expecting anyone, and I'm not someone who answers my door unless I'm expecting someone. And whoever it was, their finger was on the buzzer, and the finger was on the buzzer, and the finger was on the buzzer, and the person wasn't going anywhere. And so finally, after, I don't remember, maybe it was a good 10 minutes, I got up. I was really upset. And I was like, well, who's there? And the response was, it's me, Ira. Okay, well, that blew me away, to know that this man, who didn't know where I lived, I thought, and who didn't know my name, and who didn't know who I really was somehow in my apartment building. And so I felt like just a trapped animal. I had, my heart began to beat. I can remember it like it was yesterday. My heart began to beat rapidly, and I didn't know what to do. And so I kept telling him to just go away. I told him I was studying. I should not have said it, even what I said, which is, I'm studying for midterms, go away. So he said in response, give me your number, promise to meet me at the plaza in 2 days, and I will go away. Well, because I wanted him to go away, and I thought I could handle just not answering the phone, I gave him my number. Now, he had my number, so that was sort of just a ploy to get me to give him my number. Well, no sooner do I give him the number and he tells me he's going to go away and blah, blah, blah. Well, my phone rings, and it's him, and he's like, oh, and that was the first time I heard, I paid $150,000 to Dave, the police captain, to find you for me. And it was just one sort of wave of shock after another, after another, after another. And I just couldn't believe that he was literally calling me from the corner and making me promise to meet him. That was, I believe, a Tuesday, and he made me meet him on Thursday at the plaza, at the Oak Room. And I was like, okay, well, I'll meet you. And, what in my mind I thought, well, I have everything under control. I have a boyfriend. There's nothing that this man can do to me. There's no way that he can force me to do anything. So I agreed in a very naive way. I should have just never met him, but I agreed to meet him. So Thursday it happens, and it's lunchtime, and I was at the time working, I believe it was on 58th Street, and the plaza's on 59th Street. So I remember walking there, and he was standing outside, and he spotted me, and then, I crossed the street, and he led me inside into the Oak Room. There was no one sitting there at all, which was strange, because that place usually had a crowd, but there was no one there. 2 other men immediately walked in, and they sat to his right, so I was sitting to his left. And I thought it really bizarre, because there's this whole entire place, and they could have sat at any table and not had to be seated next to 2 other people, but they chose to sit right next to him. And so they were listening to us. And at the time I thought, well, are they his bodyguards? Are they just curious people? Are they, who are these people? I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I thought it was very strange. So anyway, we don't order lunch. He says to me in a very sort of flat way, I want to see you exclusively. I don't want you to see anyone else. Well, I have a boyfriend, and I wasn't being trafficked any longer. And my answer was, no, the girl you met and the girl I am are 2 different people. And, I just got up and I left. And again, this is in my book, in my memoir, The Billionaire's Woman. Well, you would think that he would take all of my no's and believe that I was saying no, and that it would be the end of that. And I would just go on with my life the way I had started. But no, that was the beginning of just being stalked, and nothing was ever the same. But anyway, I just wanted to again say hello. It's raining in New York. It's raining and it's very cold. It's in the 40s. And so I guess I will say thanks again for being such great followers, and many of you have become friends, and for buying my books. That helped me stay on the Epstein case. And I will check in with you another time. Alrighty, thanks. Bye.